Aloha, I'm Kiana Cayabyab, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Governor David Ige says he believes Hawaii is on track to start accepting mainland travelers who test negative for the coronavirus starting next week. Speaking on the Star-Advertiser's Spotlight Hawaii Facebook Live show this morning, Ige said his administration is continuing to prepare as Hawaii gets closer to restarting tourism. The governor answered several questions from viewers about the inner island quarantine for travelers from Oahu. He said he is working closely with the 4 county mayors and plans to make an announcement later this week about changes to the inner island quarantine. Ige also said he disagreed with those who say trans-Pacific travelers should take a second COVID-19 test once they arrive in Hawaii. The governor said such a program would unnecessarily strain the state's testing capacity. You can watch the entire Spotlight Hawaii interview on staradvertiser.com or on the Star-Advertiser's Facebook page. Hawaii saw a relatively low count of new coronavirus infections today, with only 5 cases statewide. But state health officials announced an additional COVID death on Oahu, which brings a statewide death toll to 157. On the positive side, for the first time in weeks, Hawaii reported no new hospitalizations today. Over the weekend, however, Hawaii County reported the greatest surge in new infections since the start of the pandemic. County officials said the big increase in cases comes from 2 new clusters at the Life Care Center in Hilo and at the University of Nations in Kona. They said that the county and state health department are working with both facilities to ensure that the virus is contained and to provide care for the dozens of infected individuals. Finally today, another driver with Honolulu's public bus system has tested positive for COVID-19. Oahu Transit Services said the driver called in sick Saturday after developing virus symptoms. OTS was informed of the driver's positive test on Sunday. Officials said the driver did not have symptoms on his or her last day of work last Friday. OTS says the driver had no extended contact with any employees or customers, and that the buses driven by the operator have been disinfected and cleaned. More than half a dozen drivers of the bus and the handy van have tested positive for COVID-19 since the outbreak began. For a list of the routes driven by the bus operator last week, go to staradvertiser.com. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, and we'll see you tomorrow.